walking. We got Kai this morning, as y'all have probably seen in the covers. The covers of the live stream episode will let you know what dog I'm walking with today. I thought I was gonna do like 2 dogs at once. I did it once with Kai and come on. I did it with Kai and Spade, but too much energy. Just solo dog it. Different dog every day. Got 3 dogs. Just rotate them. So everybody get roughly about 2 trips a week, two episodes a week per dog, or not 2 episodes a week per dog. Yeah, I guess it's per dog. Anywho, welcome. Good morning. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. The folks that are trickling in. If you were here and you catch this, what is your morning greeting? We started that yesterday. And of course, courtesy of Ashley, we got to do stuff we're grateful for in the morning. I actually thought that was going to kind of not be a thing for me. But Ashley kind of made it a thing. She is not with us this morning. She stayed at home this go around. But she said she wasn't feeling too hot. So come on, Kai. So yeah, she won't be with us this morning, but y'all got me solo doloing. Got my cup of coffee too. Speaking of, the trash people coming behind me. So speaking of coffee, make sure that y'all go, come on Kai, make sure that you guys go and make sure you guys go and check out and buy our grassroots American Soil, American Soul coffee collaboration. Go check that out with us. We got our first few orders in the other day, man, and it's good coffee. I'm a coffee snob myself. It tends to be the thing that I appreciate, the meditative nature of it. And actually, I kind of want to get into like that, like the idea of like meditative things. Thank y'all for joining my new folks that hopped on the stream. Let me know how y'all feeling. Top of the morning to everybody. So yeah, go check out our coffee, AmericanSoil.com. Go to the shop and you can purchase our coffee. I'm excited about it because again, it comes from Thomasville, Georgia. And that is where so much of my bird dog history comes with me. So anywho, let me know in the chat also, courtesy of Ashley, we're doing what are folks grateful for, doing these little walk and talk with the dogs. It's like a good thing to kind of just be outside. Just take the time during the day to just isolate and to just kind of get into something, kind of lose yourself in the world a little bit. So in the chat, if you feel so kind and feel so obliged, let me know what y'all are grateful for. What I am grateful for, actually, are my dogs. I mean, Kai in particular, Joker, Spade, just all around grateful for them jokers. Reason being, they're all very good dogs. I love their temperament. They function as a team. And right now, I think they're also representative of just where I am in life too. And so I like that. There's like a lot of meaning there too. They've kind of chilled out quite a bit. And so have I. I'm also grateful for like meditative acts, which is kind of what I want to get into. So there's something about things that humans do, like people do, just things that are part of our human nature. And repetition is, come here, Kai. Got a car. Come here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come here. Got a car coming by. So repetition is one of those things that I actually really, really enjoy. One of those things being making coffee. The other things being getting out and like doing this walk every day. Like human beings, we we do these things in like repetition. I think there's something about our net, like scientifically connected to that being our human nature, and particularly walking every day. I've gotten to the point now where I just really do enjoy it. It's very, very isolated time during the day, but also it kind of helps me get my brain going, kind of helps me think about a lot of stuff. But human beings, man, like we're just wired like that. And so much is going on in the world and everything. And like this, being out here just allows me to kind of really take a 30,000 foot view of the world and just kind of appreciate the fact that we have this space, man. And like, you can get so bogged down, but when you have like that thing that you kind of can expect and rely on to do every day, that's it. For me, it's literally getting up and doing this walk. I like the engagement from folks, and hello to everybody that hopped on the live stream this morning. Top of the morning to you. Mikey, what's up? But yeah, man, I really like the idea of having like a routine and like some type of expectation. And that becoming such a normal thing, it becomes a part of your daily meditation. So I really like so I'm not like the most religious person in the world. I just am not. Respect being, I grew up Southern Baptist. We're now Methodist now. And like, that's been like a new thing for me. And, I'm not necessarily so dialed into like the Bible so much as like people that actively study things like that as like a meditation. And it doesn't have to, it can be the Dhammapada, it can be whatever, but like when people get into things so deeply that it does become a meditation and it truly becomes like something you define on your own, I think that's really cool, and you can take that and apply it, or it becomes a larger piece. Just having a meditative discipline. I'm much more spiritual in that way, in the sense of, I like to see the world for what it is, but I do think there is something, greater than us, operating in the universe. And like, we got to be grateful for that. And I think part of recognizing that and kind of really dialing in is having like a focus, like something you do every day that like allows you to kind of get outside of yourself and connect. For me, it's guitar. For me, it's my dogs. For me, it's artwork. Art I've been doing since I was a kid. But yeah, man, like having a daily meditation, and it's not even about being perfect at anything so much as just knowing that like this is what I'm going to do. And I think now more than ever, it's dope to have that. Like, I know every morning I'm gonna get up and hop on this live stream and go walk. Like, simple as it is, I actually really appreciate that. What it does is kind of isolate. It kind of isolates the time with you guys, but then also it gives me, it gives me something that I know I'm going to do. Come on, Kai. It gives me something that I absolutely know I'm going to do. I can rely on it. It's in some ways it becomes kind of a quiet time. Like, I don't know how it works, but just really isolating time for yourself, man. Like really isolating time for yourself to just get out and do something without being necessarily so accessible or being contacted all the time or things like that. Like having that daily routine, just like the rote practice of just doing something that you look forward to, get excited about, and love doing every day, and like not letting up on that. Doing that thing every day, not letting up on it, and using that as a connecting point with people too. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff I like getting into. Here's the church. Get my coffee. Kind of hard. But yeah, man. So those of y'all in the chat, like I really do want to know, like, what are things people do every day for themselves, no matter like what's going on. Like you do this thing every day for yourself. I think it's important to do that, man. And as long as it's not like a destructive habit. My wife and I talk about it all the time. Is she'd be like, Durrell, you gonna do your thing, and that's absolutely right. I'm going to do my thing per se, just because, like, I don't know, the world is rough enough as it is. Like, why would you not make time for that one thing that you love? Like when I used to teach, I used to tell my wife, I would be like, first of all, this ain't no long-term thing for me because it's just not. But I was like, second of all, what the more important thing is, I always spoke up the circumstances that I wished to be in. So if I knew I didn't want to be a teacher forever, like I don't speak that up. I do the work that I got to do. I do. Come on, buddy. I do the work that I got to do, to do a good job. But like, I keep my eyes on the prize. And so when I was teaching, I just always knew this just ain't the end of the road. So I would always say that. But then the other thing is, what was that thing that I was just saying? It was not sticking there. Oh, and just, letting it known that like, you're letting it be known that like, if you're gonna give somebody 8 to 10 hours of your day, like if you're gonna give somebody 8 to 10 hours of your work day, why can't you do that same thing for yourself? And that was kind of a thing for me. Every time I would get back home, I would just always say like, look, when I was working for folks, when I was teaching, I was like, how is it that I can dedicate 8 to 10 hours of my day to somebody else, making somebody else money? Like, that's the crazy part about it. I'm going to sit here and give you all of this time, make somebody else's money, and then not turn around and commit that same amount of time to myself. Like, and it's interesting, man. Like I had 1 and 2 kids at the time when I did have this mindset. And I don't know, it's just like, if we just look at what the world looks like, there are a lot of people that are going to make a ton of money. And there are a lot more people that are not going to make a lot of money, but they're going to make that first group of people a ton of money. And like, people are going to go home from those situations, from working all day and doing this thing, tired as all get out, and pissed off because they didn't do anything for themselves. And like, for themselves. And like, that's the trash part about the type of culture that we live in. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we live in a culture that if you Want to move 100 miles an hour? It's going to allow you to do that. We live in a society that teaches go, 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 go all the time. And that's very good for a lot of things. Like, that's very, very good for a lot of things. But then also, when it comes to productivity, but like we see it now, people still burn out, and I don't think it's burning out from working way too many. Yeah, that's probably part of it. But part of that burnout thing with the culture and society we live in is literally those people going to work for somebody else all day, every day, 5 to 7 days a week, and not turning around and giving back to themselves in some way, form, or fashion. So all you're doing is you're taking out of the piggy bank. Like you're literally taking coins out of your piggy bank every day. You're giving those coins to everybody else, and then not doing the thing that's going to refill that piggy bank. And that's kind of that's a really not fun way to go about life. Even if and it's like whatever it is. For me, it's getting outside. For me, it's art and all of those things. And then the other side of it is, in addition to people working all day and not returning the energy that they spend on other people and jobs, not replenishing that energy within themselves. But then we go, and when we do have these like things that we do, we also now live in a culture that like your hobbies now have to be profitable. And I think that creates a certain type of potential burnout, because it's like there are a lot of things that, like, if you get good at something and it happens to pay you, what you smelling, dog? Huh? What you got? Ain't no birds over there. But yeah, like if you mess around and you turn around, you mess around and start turning hobbies into like, they always got to be a money-making opportunity. Like, at what point does your brain relax? And again, if you are blessed that the thing that you enjoy doing as a hobby just naturally turns into something profitable today, heck yeah, like go for it. But come on, Kai. But it doesn't have to be that way. And everything is so algorithm and media and content driven that, like, I wonder, are people still having like genuine and authentic fun? Like, are people still having fun with the things that they do? Like, I don't necessarily feel like I work, and I work in a sense that, like, being an entrepreneur is its own job and things like that. But like, I also break up the day in just doing something that I not only enjoy, but then also, like, if it gets put on social media, I'm talking about like my guitar stuff and stuff like that. Like, if it gets put on social media, cool, like no big deal. If it doesn't, great. If people like it, great. But like, there is no expectation of, man, I'm about to be like a rock star or something like that. Like, no, like, and sometimes I'll just not record stuff, and I'm always not video record it. When I'm practicing and stuff, I usually am always running a audio recorder because, I mean, it's guitar. But, at no point do I ever, like, even with Sporting Life Notebook and like the stuff that I've done in the bird dog world and things like that stuff was fun to me. And, my wife told me at the time, like, make it work. So there is some truth to, like, I needed to make the money pan out. But that's when it got to a point where, like, all right, I want to do this at a higher level. And, you got to pay to play kind of deal. But even in that, honestly, I can't necessarily say that there was a real deal expectation of, like, man, you better go and be like a top Morvis guy. Like that wasn't a thought. What was a thought to me was, okay, can I get good at this thing that I like, bird dogs and, clay shooting and stuff like that? Like, can I do this thing that I really like at a high level and in a way, like I can't say that I had a strategy of how to make it work. I just was like, let me just get good at it. Like, and if I could get paid a couple of dollars off of it, more than a couple of dollars, but if I could get paid off of it, I think that's when the guiding piece started happening. And I didn't go looking for it. Like somebody actually asked me to come guide for them based on my dogs, and it turned into a thing. And at that point, my wife and I figured out like, oh, this can actually be a profitable thing, like a lucrative thing if we do it right. But even with artwork, man, like I started painting when I was like 4 or 5. So like, that's a little bit of a different case, but I don't think I really knew of like a real deal serious, like I'm just going into this to make a bunch of money. Like I didn't necessarily have that until well after college. Until in college when I started making a lot of money off of it. But I was still just doing it off the love, man. I was still doing it off of passion and like genuine curiosity too. Because I think nowadays, man, like especially with the advent of social media and stuff like that, like I think more people are interested in like you as a unique individual, your genuine curiosity and like making content about the thing that you're like really curious about and excited about. Like when we like nowadays, like back in the day, man, it was like, everybody kind of wanted to conform to be like all the cool kid or whatever. And no, I was just always interested in the people that kind of did like different things that were different or obscure and like really finding out why they nerded out about it. Like we have an opportunity through social media and like these platforms and stuff to just talk to people about what you do. And there's 11 people around the world that are like genuinely interested in doing what you do, if not doing the same. And so, like doing that thing, whatever that is for you, like doing that thing in such a meditative way. And it just inherently becomes a very high level thing. Doing that thing in such a meditative way that like people have no choice but to respect it. Like, because again, people are captivated by your enthusiasm for the subject. And like, and I think with the enthusiasm, you will just, the being good at the thing, I think that kind of comes. And that timeline looks different for like different subjects. But like nowadays, man, being genuinely interested in something and doing it so much that it becomes a meditative practice and discipline, like that's where the getting starts getting good. And so adding on to what I was saying in some of the other episodes that we've done, like once you start doing that, and then you start to add your own flavor, flair, personality to it, and that's when it becomes that own thing. I had a couple people ask me, this is years back, like, man, how'd you get sponsored by Beretta? How did you get this sponsorship and this and that? And frankly, I don't know. Like, I remember what, the contract getting process was, but like, there was no like, thought in my head of like, man, I'm about to go and reach out to this huge brand. Like, no, I was just legitimately interested in bird dogs and, travel. The only thing that I wanted all of my hunting practices and stuff to do, and even art, was allow me to travel around the world and see new things that I otherwise would not have seen, without doing it. So that was my goal. That was my goal. Outside of that, man, a lot of the brand partnerships and deals and stuff that I've gotten over the years, that kind of just happened. And it happened as a result of just genuinely having a story and a legit interest in the thing that I care about the most, and having an even deeper interest in making all the things that I care about kind of work together and work like symbiotically in a way. So like, how do I make my artwork work with my guitar, work with my outdoor pursuits, work with stuff like that, and still be able to deliver in a very genuine and authentic way to my, brand partnerships and sponsorships and stuff like that. It's really having a unique voice in this thing. And like, I understand even with social media, like there are people that do things, they get these, they start getting paid for notoriety and all of that. And they're literally just reading a script. And you can tell, like you can legitimately tell when people are doing that. And like, we have social, like why would you do that? Like why, that's such a boring thing when people want to see who you are and why you like the thing that you like. Like there used to be, well, not even there's just always people like this. I ain't gonna give a story. There are people, some of the people that I'm most inspired by are people that do the same thing every day so well that like, I'm impressed that you haven't gotten bored with that thing yet. You know what I'm saying? And like, that makes me want to keep asking, well, why didn't you get bored about it? Like, tell me more. Like, what's the vibe? Like, what is attracting you to this thing? What is it that we all do that like, you could either one, pass it down to like your kids, your family, right? And you're so captivated by it, like your lineage takes on that obsession. And if not that, what is the thing that you do that like when it's all said and done and we all kick the can, like what am I reading about in your story? But also, man, for real, like what wakes you up in the morning? Like, and to be cliche, American Soul coffee. Go get it at the website. But like, I got into that not as like just trying to go and make $1. No, like I legitimately making coffee, like grinding it and doing the pour over thing every morning. Like, again, the meditative process of doing that, I could go and put it in a machine and like have it made for me in 2.5 seconds. But there's something that was legitimately fascinating to me about the smell of it, of coffee, and like knowing that like that's the thing that I'm gonna get up and do right every morning. And I've always said it's a meditative thing. And so speaking of getting into coffee, like I got into that as a result of my artwork. The last American Soul show we had was at Grassroots Coffee Roasters, and like, your passions will lead you into your next opportunities. Work hard with what you got at the table. Like, we're not all dealt a fantastic hand, right? So, while I sit here and walk and talk and my very, very privileged, like, what I'm saying, it's real privileged as hell to be walking and doing a live stream every day. Like, I remember, there was a time that I was at school, like at this time, wasn't nobody doing a live stream. So let me not say this, but what I will say is regardless of the circumstances and regardless of the cards that you are dealt, I think, if and when you can, and when capitalize on when being more often, do something for yourself. Like, it's okay to be selfish. It's like, and again, not destructively selfish now. It's okay to have that thing that you do. It's okay to have that thing that you do no holds barred. Like every day I know, and my kids know, and my wife knows, I'm gonna get up and play that guitar. Like that's what I'm gonna do. And it ain't got to be nothing crazy, like, but it's the thing that legitimately brings me real deal peace. Every day, even doing this, like doing this little walking talk. I never thought I'd be the person to like just go walking, you know, I never thought I was that person. Usually if I'm doing a lot of walking, it's in the woods or something like that. But, just, I never thought that this would become a thing. And I like it so much because it allows me to think about kind of them other thoughts that I have in the back of my brain when I'm not trying to like focus on, making, producing or selling something or getting ready for an event. This right here just kind of gives me that time to talk to you guys, engage with this, hopefully, build a community around this channel. But, also really bring some type of peace to our lifestyle. And like I said, my wife would otherwise normally be here with me, but like, it's the thing, we got 2 kids and life moves 100 miles an hour and there's a lot going on. And like minus today where she just really said she wasn't necessarily feeling all too well. It's time that me and my wife can walk and just hang out. Not that we don't hang out a lot anyway, but like this is very specialized, specific time. Even on a live stream, it's kind of cool to get her thoughts about things that are going on in the world and her opinion. And she's someone that I very much so look up to and respect. She's my wife, but like legitimately, I really very much so admire her ideology about the world and like going on. And I've been blessed that I'm married to someone that allows me to chase and pursue my passions, and try to do grand things. So, it's all in what you make it, man. This very American lifestyle that we live, it's all in what you make it. But it's super sweet when you just had that thing that you just committed to all the time, every day. Like we live in a space also where like looking at the news media and stuff like that, bro, like we are creating our own problems. And like, what are you doing to basically allow yourself to leave the world in a sense, like to leave your conscience and just like look inward? Come on. Look inward and like let people know, or not let people know, let yourself know that like you are still there. That's the other thing too. I think people, when you don't do the meditative thing, when you don't spend, it's not, although we do practice yoga, like it's not so literal as that. It's literally like looking inward when everything around you is going on, good, bad, or indifferent. And just taking the time to let yourself know that like, bruh, I'm here. I'm here. I ain't lost myself. And that when you have those passions and hobbies, like that's my way of allowing myself to know. Ashley asked me the other day, she was like, I was playing and she was like, man, you're kind of, you're doing all right. You're kind of getting pretty decent. I was like, I appreciate it. And she was like, what does that guitar do for you? And I had never really thought about that question or the answer to it. But, she was like, what does that guitar do for you? And honestly, I told her it made me quieter. Like it made me a much quieter person inside. And outside. Like I'm already kind of a loud person. All my friends tell me I talk too loud. Well, that's what happens when you holler at dogs. And, you hunt in these awesome places. You got to have a big old voice. But yeah, man, I really think that like for me, getting quieter on the inside was a goal, considering everything that I've just had going on in life and my background. And so now it's really dope. Hey, no socks, dude. Somebody dropped a sock. yeah, man, like I'm just now, and I say this to anybody, like do things in life that allow you to just quiet down. Like there's so much noise in the world, so much noise, so much noise. And it's not traffic noise, it's not none of that. It's like distractive noise. And like sometimes I think we all need to recognize when we are not necessarily within ourselves. And if not, like what do you do to dial that back in? So, you know, those are some thoughts, man. For those of y'all that maybe watch this live stream after the fact, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in now and later. Hey guys, go to American Soul, AmericanSoul.com, and go get our coffee. Sorry, I had to think. Go get our coffee. The artwork on the front, of course, is done by yours truly. We did it in partnership with Grassroots Coffee Roasters. Also, so crazy thing, I actually got approached by someone about this idea, but we now have pet urns. So like people that have lost pets, and I recently lost one of my best dogs, but I wanted to start helping people memorialize that. And I got asked to make pet urns now. And so they look like your dog, they're custom. So like I would do the imagery of your dog, you send me the image, you can do it all on the website. But then I would make a 3-dimensional model of that, and then of course it'd be hollow, and it looked like your urn. I mean your dog. So reason being is because a lot of people just thought that urns are kind of boring. They're just plain little boxes, and then they kind of look weird. Whereas this is a different kind of memorial. So yeah, check that out on the website too. Also, we have ornaments coming for Christmas time. So my English setter ornaments are also available on American Soul, AmericanSoul.com too. So if you are a dog fan, if you're a bird dog fan, if you appreciate my stuff, want to support the channel, go to American Soul, AmericanSoul.com and purchase any or all things from us. Everything that I do is of course handmade, and it's designed and done all by me. I really like that part of it too. Just being able to give you guys things from my hands and heart. So all that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in with me every morning, Monday to Friday. Maybe on the weekends. We haven't quite gotten there yet. But either way, join me. Let me know what y'all think. Please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to get the channel numbers up. Like I said, this is really fun. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all. There should be another podcast on the Sporting Life Notebook coming up soon. That's going now that the season is cranking back up. And then some more videos for y'all as well. All right, folks, till next time, stay tuned.